recording. All right, so yep, going ahead and recording. Torie is going to share a screen, but I'll let you take it away. Torie, you want to introduce yourself a little bit and give a little bit of your background?
Oh, sure. Give me 1 second that way I can get out
Yeah.
of here. That way we are okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Victoria Mugo officially, but I go by Torie. Personally and across my social media, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and I'm also on LinkedIn. But just a little bit of background about me. I am a quad amputee, so I'm missing my legs below the knee and my hands below the elbow. I lost my limbs 5 years ago. I got pneumonia, and unfortunately, it was walking pneumonia. I didn't know I was that ill. By the time I was getting to the hospital, I quickly turned septic. So I went into septic shock. So morning of January 2019, I walked into the hospital. January 9th, 2019, walked into the hospital. And when they told me, your lungs are pretty much white, so the infection had spread all over. And shortly after, I went into septic shock. And anybody that has had sepsis, it's downhill from there. So it wasn't a fun thing. I didn't get to experience the emotional trauma of that part as as gravely as my family, because that same day my organs started shutting down, my lungs failed, my kidneys started failing, so of course they put me in a coma. So I was in a coma for a month, and then I woke up towards the end of January, 4 weeks later, that is. And of course, waking up, my hands and my feet were already necrotic. And in March is when they amputated. And the reason why they took that long to amputate is because I was on a trach. So they had to make sure that that's out before they do any surgery. So it was gravely, that's when my trauma began, waking up to find out that I'm not going to be able to have any use for my hands and feet. So that was hard. But I took it to a positive level, to where if I'm here, I'm alive. I mean, there's a purpose for it. So my first way out was to walk, to run, to be able to exercise and things like that. It wasn't an easy journey for me, but it had to happen. I had to start somewhere. And a lot of anybody that's joining that is a recent amputee, I can relate with you. It is not easy to start, especially working out. I mean, just being an amputee in itself is a lot to carry on. So I hear you, I see you, and I understand. And that is the reason why I started a lot of close to friends, even family, the people that are able-bodied. The one thing that gives me joy is to teach people how to work out, to simplify workouts. That way, if you're not that person that likes to go to the gym, you can just work out at home, and that works out. The other thing I, kind of educate people is, how to eat healthy. Make sure that whatever you're taking in is not negating all the workout that you did, or putting you behind on progress. As an amputee, you have to figure out ways to stay fit and keep your weight, because we know very well if you lose too much weight, you have problems with the sockets. If you gain too much weight, you're having problems with the socket. So there's that discipline to maintain that weight and to keep it fit to where you are actually healthy. So I'm going to go through a few ways or a few pointers to kind of walk us through how to start being fit, why to do it, the challenges, and how to overcome them. And if I should just start on the slide here, my mouse would work. I wanted to. So why should we work out? Why should we work out? I mean, the mental part of it is very important. As an amputee, just standing on your prosthetics is hard enough. So for me, the first time I stood on my prosthetics, I was excited. Being on that wheelchair and standing up, I was like, this is it. The minute I put this on, I'm just gonna walk in them. And the minute I put them on, I mean, I had pain from from hell. It was very painful to the point I didn't think I was actually going to do this. But it was the background about it is, I mean, your mind will tell you that you can't do that because you don't have feet. That is what your brain is trained for. I mean, I was an able-bodied person for 38 years. When I lost my feet hands and feet at 38, my brain did not register why I'm standing on my calves. So I had to train my brain to accommodate the fact that I don't have legs anymore. And it was starting off on very little achievable goals every day. So today I will just wear my prosthetics, not even stand. Tomorrow, maybe I'll stand for 5 minutes, and that's okay. And then the next day, you keep progressing on that. So the mental part of it is very important. You have to make small goals, small achievable goals. Those worked for me very well. And then again, as I mentioned earlier, we work out to maintain because your socket will always be an issue if you're underweight, too underweight, or too overweight. So once you're starting to get into the prosthetics part, that will be different because I mean you're going to go through at least 1 or 2 sockets before you get one that's comfortable. Once you get one that's comfortable and your weight is comfortable, working out will help you maintain that socket wear. The other way is the general way. I mean, to stay healthy. I mean, who does not want to be healthy? So working out will help you with that discipline to stay healthy. And then for me, I have very bad neuropathy pain. And neuropathy pain is pretty much your nerves hurting you every time there's change. For me, it's change in weather. If it's raining, I'm in pain. If it's snowing, I'm in pain. If it's too cold, I'm in pain. Sometimes, even when it's too hot, I'm in pain. So that fluctuation in the biometric pressure, which is the weather, affects me gravely. So working out for me is my medicine. Every time I work out, my endorphins are so high to where now my nerves are not, in the back of my head, working me out into pain. And my pain levels are like 8s, 9s, 10s most of the time. But when I work out, it comes down to at least about a 4, which is manageable. So what does that mean? That means that during the day, I really don't have to take any medication. I only take it at night when I'm going to sleep. And that medication will, give way to me until the morning. So working out does help, especially if you have nerve pain, it will help. If you're stressed out, it will help. If you are trying to manage weight, like I mentioned before, it will help. The mindset in overcoming challenges is just have a place to start. You don't have to start, you don't have to do much, just start something, start walking, start moving around, get off that wheelchair, and if you have prosthetics, walk for 5 minutes today, do 10 minutes tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Before you know it, you're wearing prosthetics all day. And then the other way to overcome frustrations as an amputee or working out is making your workouts simple. Do not overcomplicate. If you can only walk today, just walk. If you're like me, who does not have hands, it's hard for me to use weights. So how else can I work out and work off my hand muscles without the weights? We'll talk about that shortly. And then of course, keep things interesting. If you look at the screen share that I just shared on your left, or rather on your right, I don't know if it's your right or your left, when alphabetized different things. So this is one of the ways that I make my workouts interesting. Today I'll do legs. Tomorrow maybe I'll do, my torso or my core. But maybe on Wednesday I'll do a fun thing. I will create any name. I could put there Torie Mugo and go to the T and see what T will say. So it says 15 something. My screen is blocking that. But say you have something like happy. H is 20 squats and so on and so forth. C is 30 crunches. It has a variety of things, and this can be shared with you. You can find Google, but you can create any name that day. You can even just create Wednesday and see what Wednesday gives you. Some are tough, some are easier to do, but I mean it makes it interesting having a repetitive workout over and over again. That helps discipline. It helps me maintain workouts in my week. The other great thing to have is support groups. Support groups are good because you learn different things when you involve yourself in support groups. You can get that through your fellow amputees, learn new things. I never thought I would ever swim. I was so scared of swimming. But for me to be in amputee communities and their support groups, I found somebody who is actually has lost even more than me that can swim. And having conversations with people like that will encourage you to try new things. So besides running and working out, I can now swim, I can golf, I can bowl, thanks to Andy and everybody else. Bowling is a good way of working out because you are actually having fun and working out at the same time and learning new things. But yeah, and also get inspired. You get inspired to do new things. So following fellow amputees, having conversations with them, joining amputees communities, those usually help. Accountability buddies. You can have one person that you decide, okay, we're gonna work out 3 days a week. So you can be accountable to each other that week. Say, okay, today we're going to do this or the other, or today I did this or the other. That usually helps as well. And then amputee clinics are great. There are usually a lot of amputee clinics pretty much across the country. So, and the way you know about this, talk to your prosthetists. They usually are very much aware of what's going around as far as clinics. And then if you're a part of an amputee community, I'm a part of a few amputee communities. There's Enhanced Skills for Life is one of them. There's one here in Denver called Limb Preservation Foundation. There's another one called CAF, Challenge Athletes Foundation. If you want to learn a lot about workouts, that's a great one because they do clinics across the country. I mean, there's tons of different institutions that offer clinics. So that is another good way of just being out there. I mean, they hold things like cycling, hiking, running, basketball, bowling, golfing, whatever sport you can think of, it is there. So though amputee clinics are a great way. The other way to keep maintaining your workout is gyms. Join gyms that have variety. For me, the YMCA, I love it because number one, they offer scholarships. So if you cannot afford the monthly, they offer scholarships, which is annual. Works out great, not just for me, but for my household. My son is usually into different sports, and he usually it gets included in that. There's also amputee trainers out there. So if you're in an amputee community, you will get an amputee trainer one way or the other. There's also amputee gyms, and those are usually cool because they have a lot of equipments that provide modifications for people that have lost both hands and legs or just legs or more, above the knee, above the elbow, things like that, to get things going for you. So there's no one way to do things, especially as an amputee. And again, I will repeat, simplicity will help you maintain, your progress and your discipline. So I'm gonna go and get onto the fun part to do a few demonstrations on to do what. So if you look at this, it's pretty much a fitness helper, and exercise modifications that you can use at home. If you're in the gym and they have spaces. I mean, there are people who prefer to be outside the house. I prefer to be inside. Getting myself together to go to the gym, I find that a lot sometimes. Um, when it's cold, even it's either you go or you don't work out. So the best part of it is to have both sides. If you can go to the gym, well and good. If you cannot, then what can you do at home? So that is what we are going to talk about here. So just give me a second for me to get my fun stuff. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration for if you want to wear your prosthetics. If you're on your prosthetics, or rather maybe I should say, I usually work out two ways. One way I would work out is being all the way to the floor, do everything on the floor, or being on prosthetics, that means I'm standing up. I do not do both at the same time because that brings frustration. Because imagine you're doing something up here and you need to go down. That means you have to take your prosthetics off and then go down and then come back up again. So that up and down, that up and down is usually frustrating. So for you to be able to have a good flow of your workout, my workouts usually are between 30, 40 minutes. 40 minutes if I'm doing a lot of the weight kind of training. But if I'm just doing something like a HIIT workout, I will just do 30 minutes. You don't have to go beyond that. Any workout over 45 minutes doesn't do much really. Your first 45 minutes are usually the most important. So I make the most of it. That means not doing a lot about changing prosthetics and things like that. The other thing is because I'm fortunate to have a lot of my hand, I do not use prosthetic on my hands to work out. But there's different modifications for hand prosthetics. The same way they have stubbies on your legs, they have them for your hands. So if you want to do things like push-ups, those usually help. But what if you don't have any of that? What if you can do weights? What if you don't have hands where you can do weights? So what do you do? For me, I use bands, and I have different kinds that I'm going to show you. See that a little bit. So So I have two bands here. So you can do this sitting down or standing up. I usually prefer standing, but for me to stay on screen, I think I should do this seated. So I have two bands. This is the longer one, and you can get this on Amazon. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's called Let's Fit. And what I do with this one, and you can use, I mean, if you have hooks, you can do this I believe, because you can move your hands this way with hooks. So you can do the same thing and just get them in that way. These have different weights, right? I think there's medium, light, heavy, or small, large, extra large, and things like that. When that happens, the different sizes give you different weights, and when you buy them it will tell you medium, say, has maybe 15 to 20 pounds, and so on and so forth. So for example, if I'm using this, so what can I do with this? You just pull it out if you're just doing a regular um, hand workout, and there's different ways you can do this. You can just put it on stationary and pull out. That will activate different muscles in there. And the thing about bands, the way to know you're doing the best workout is how soon you get the burn. If you're using the band and you're not feeling the burn, you are probably in the wrong size. So you either size up or size down, depending on how well you feel the burn. Usually your reps should be between 30 to 45 seconds. By the 15th second, by the 20th second, you should start feeling the burn. If you're not, maybe you're using the wrong band. So what do? You just switch it out. The other thing you can do with this band is work your shoulders. So besides your biceps, which can be worked out, or your tricep, which can be worked out by just pulling out, you can get the tension of it and just go like that. So when you do that, you're literally working out your bicep, and you'll definitely feel that on your bicep. You can also work out your shoulders, so you just go back that way and just go up, up, yeah. And that usually does a great job on your shoulders. And I will repeat, if you're not feeling the burn by your 20th, 15 second mark, you just need to change the band. The other band that I love is a shorter band, itty bitty one, that works on the inside of your hands. So if that's your target muscle, same thing. So you just do short, little short ones, and that's the furthest it goes. It doesn't go further than that. You can't use this on like I don't believe so. But you just go that way, and you can go up and down. It's a lot of fun things that you can do with your body to 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 work the muscles if you cannot use weights like me. If you have your hands, of course, you can go ahead and do the weights. But if you don't, these are great. But if you're also an able-bodied person and you're not feeling the weights so much, you can make it interesting and choose between the weights and you have a good. The other great bands to use if you're trying to work out your legs is, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, is the, if I can get it going, is longer band. And if you don't have hands, these work out very well as well. So you just step on it like you would step on it. I can go out. But if you're stepping on it, obviously it's the pull. So you can do that to work out your biceps. You can go back this way and go down and see the pulls. And that works out your chest very well. So my main point is that it does not matter whether you have hands or not, these can always work. If you're missing most of your hands, there's longer bands that you can use that go all the way up closer to your shoulders. So all you do, for example, if I don't have the extension, is just move your shoulders. So you just get the longer bands that go all the way out. So you can just go up, back, and back. The other thing that I've seen for people that are missing hands is on the weights, there's little straps that you have on your hands. And that strap goes, you can fold this in half, put it through the weight, and then just lift it up that way. So if that is an option for you, that is another great option that I've seen people do. But those three are the ones that I use when I am up. So what happens if I am trying to do jumping jack? So you can do that with your feet as is. The way I do it with my prosthetics is because I do not have an ankle. When I do the jump, when I do that jump, I use my tippy toes to do the jump. A lot of people, a lot of my friends do not like jumping. They don't like it at all. So they usually ask me, so what else can I do if I'm trying to do a jumping jack? So all you have to do is just do your hands as you would, but take your foot out, bring it in. So you're gonna do that, but because you're modifying, just do it faster than somebody who will just do a regular jumping jack. So I would go like this, but anybody modifying will just go up, out and in, out and in, out and in. So that is one modification. The other thing I do with my legs up this way is the jumps. So you just go down and slowly jump. You can jump one away, or you can do an 180 and go all the way to the other side. Those are hard, but if you cannot do that and you're trying to modify, it's the same thing. Only you have to squat a little bit and just move like this, or you can move all the way out like that. So either way, start slow, build up. Modifying is an easy way to start an exercise, but it can also make you lazy. What do I mean by that? If you're modifying, start with the modification, but at least your last 5 reps, try to do the actual exercise. So if it's the jumping jack, you do the modification, and then the last 5, you just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the next time, progress that to maybe an 8, next time a 10. Before you know it, you are actually doing the full jumping jack for the full, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, so let's go to the floor and see what we can do down there. So I'm gonna take this off. Then I'm gonna change the view of my screen. That way you can see me down on the floor. A second. So the thing about being on the floor, make sure you have a good mat. If you see mine, it has a very good cushion. The reason for that is some exercise like the jumping jack, you can do it on the floor as well. If you're missing a lot of your limbs above the knee, you will still have to do the jumping jack on your stubbies. So you just use the stubbies and just do the jumping jacks like I illustrated as somebody who has the full length of the prosthetic. So that's the easiest way I could think of that you could do an actual jumping jack. But if you are like me that uses their knees all the time, this is a very good mat. Amazon has it. Amazon has everything. So thicker mat, the thickest they have. Use that because that will be easy on your knees. The other thing that would help your knees is knee pads. Wear your knee pads. Those will be easy on your knees. The thing about pounding your knees all the time is that they become raw, and that is painful, and that will take you off any workout. So knee pads are a good cushion for you as well. So let's see how I can adjust my screen so you can see me down here. And another thing that I have is additional padding, which you can always add on your padding as well. So if the padding on the mat is not enough, you can add an additional padding. I use this mostly when I'm doing push-ups because they give me extra padding. My hands are small and I don't have any cushion at the end of it. They're all pretty bony. So padding. Initially, I didn't need them, but the more I worked out, I lost a lot of I don't know if I should say fat on there, but they're very bony now. So padding helps me quite a bit. So let's do this. Okay. Bring my laptop lower. Sorry, I'm in your faces. So I am down on the mat. I'm gonna push back a little bit for you guys to see better. Can't break my glasses, dude. All right, I don't see my face that much, but I think that works. Okay, so different things you can do on the mat, same things that you can do when you're up on your feet is, let's just follow the same routine. So if you're on the mat and you're trying to work out your hands, push-ups are good. You can also do mountain climbers on the mat. You can do burpees on the mat as well. And this will be different depending on your body type. For me, I have the length of the foot, which usually helps me in staying up. But if you cannot, modification is always to go on your knees. Just the same way you would do a regular push-up on an able-bodied person who wants to modify, they always go on their knees. So I do it both ways depending on how many push-ups I need to do. So for example, if I'm doing a regular push-up, I will just go right here. Let me demonstrate with me having down on my knees. So this will be the modification, is to be on your knees, and then you will just go down and up, right? If you want to go up and you have the full leg like me, it's just you go up on your knees, same thing. And I promise you, either way you do it, you will still feel it, because the fact that we don't have the rest of the leg, you have a lot of weight. Your weight is more compact. So when you have your knees down, or if you have the knees up, either way, you'll still feel it on your chest and your hands. Somebody is probably asking how to do a burpee. Same thing. You just go in the push-up position and you will just jump up, or you can modify. I'll start with the modify. So if you're up here, if you're trying to do a burpee, you just go up and then you get here, right? And then you go out again. So you do the same thing. Only that in your modification, if anybody remembers, you do it faster. Faster. And you keep going up. If you are progressing that to where, like I said, modifications, you just do them slowly in the beginning and then you build that up. So you're down here, you just go. So you're down again here and you just jump up. And if you want to take it further, you jump up. You go down again, shoot out, sorry. You shoot out, come in and jump. You shoot out, come in and jump. That would be the burpee. Mountain climber, same thing. Go down here. If you want to modify, you just go here, here, here. But if you are progressing it, you just go here, like you're running. And that's how you would do mountain climber. Yeah, give me a love that. Oh my God. Okay, so another fun thing you can do is, of course, use the band to make it. When you're not using the band, if you're beginning, in the beginning, you really don't need a band. Once your body starts getting used to your body weight, tension is always a good thing. So what you do is just wear it that way. And then you can do different things with the band. You can do in and outs just as easily as you would do with the hands. Going in and out. So you just go out, out, and back. Or you can do the stationary ones where you just pull out. And you can do this on a wheelchair too. You don't have to be down to do it. You can easily just take your prosthetics off, sit on a wheelchair, and do that. The other thing you can do with this one is when you're doing squats up here, down here. So when you're squatting, you're in this position. So what you do is build the tension out, right? And just do a regular squat where you go down and up, and up, down and up. If you don't have a knee, I'm thinking you can just keep it here. You can just keep it here. That will still work your quads very well. The other thing that I do with the band, besides that, is when I'm doing my mountain climbers, I'll use the band. When I'm doing the burpees, I'll use the band to create more tension. So there's quite a lot that you can do down here. Your core workout is just as easily as anybody just going down on the floor and doing it. You can pretty much do anything that they're doing. The only difference is that you will have to have different itty bitty modifications. And if anybody is interested in learning more about what more, because I have tons of exercises that I do. Now, I just shared a few. You can always find me on social media and just, we can exchange numbers and we can do a Zoom just like this one. And we will have a full session of how I can help you. So if you need help, don't think that you cannot reach out. This is not the only Zoom. This is just a starter. If you need additional help, just reach out and I will definitely be there for you. So we've seen a few modifications that you can do with the workout. And I think we can move on real quick if I could get back to my screen. Give me a second. Sorry, people. All right. You guys just made me do a workout. Oh, wow. Let's see. I can screen share again. So, yeah, I showed you how to do burpees, push-ups. Actually did more than that. Okay, so going to the next screen is healthy habits. This is the part that I like to insist the most to most of anybody that I share workouts. Hey, you can work out. Can we work out together? Yes. But what do you do after you work out? What do you eat? As an amputee, I think for you to maintain weight, you have to be strict about what you put into your body because we want to burn fat all the time. We don't want to burn empty calories because when we do that, then we are, putting on weight in places that we don't need to put on weight on. So healthy habits for me, I like to substitute my carbs. So anything that's a carb, and we all know which ones, what is and what is not. Carbs are the hardest thing to maintain out of your diet, but it's very forgiving if you substitute them because then you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to be running marathons or I don't know, 10 miles a day or 5 miles a day to kind of maintain your weight. Just stay off the carbs, substitute them. There's a lot of substitute out there. If you're like me, sweet potatoes, quinoa, what else? Cauliflower, if you are a person that likes rice and potatoes. I love potatoes. I love potatoes. Like I legit do love potatoes, but I do substitute them with sweet potatoes, and that usually works out very well. Grilled food over fried food. In the beginning, it might be hard, but once you get used to it, I promise you, it's something that you will just find easy to do. Always love fruits and vegetables. That should be like your daily thing. At least incorporate fruits and vegetables in your diet. And then the discipline can be hard as an amputee because people like me who don't have hands, cutting stuff is tasking. So what I usually do, I like to prep my meals. So if in the summer I eat a lot of salads, but I don't eat bland salads. I always add on things to salads. If you followed me on my social media, you will see that I have different kinds of salads that I make and I will incorporate other vegetables into the salad to make it healthier and more interesting. That way tomorrow I'll have salad again. Only this time I will switch something up. But yes, prep your meals in advance. So for me, I will cut like onions. I will cut if a weekend I'm not doing anything. I will cut onions and put them in a container in the fridge. Can do them. You can do that on a lot of vegetables. The other thing is a lot of vegetables are simplified for us. For example, if you want shredded carrots, that's an option. You don't have to buy a carrot and shred it if you don't have hands. The carrot chips are also available. The little mini carrots are also available. Um, the other good thing is having a vegetable chopper. There's a lot of variety on that, and they chop your vegetables very well. You just stick your vegetable in there, if it's zucchini or cucumber or whatever, it will slice it, it will string it, it will do everything that you want it to do. So that shouldn't be an excuse for me to say, hey, I cannot do that or the other. The other thing is that I challenge myself. I will challenge myself. Say, okay, today I'll use the chopper, but what if a chopper is not available? What if I'm traveling and I'm making my own food and a chopper is not available? Then what? You find a way to use a knife if you can. But if you can't, you can't. You just go to the grocery store and buy the shredded um, carrots, and your salad is already prepared. And for tomatoes, you can buy the cherry tomatoes and modify it that way. Because, I mean, I have the luxury of having the rest of my elbow. Some people don't. And some people don't know how to use the prosthetics to do these things. That's the other thing. Learn something new, because that might end up helping you in the long run. Make extra. That is another thing that can maintain your discipline. If you are making, say, what do you call it, grilled chicken, or your fillet, you're grilling your fish fillet, or if it's a steak or whatever, make extra for tomorrow. You might wake up tomorrow and you seriously are probably in pain like me, or you just don't want to go to the kitchen and cook the food. So what do? You end up ordering something that's not good for you, or you go and get fast food because that's much easier. But if you've prepped your food and it's in the fridge, all you have to do is go in the fridge and make your dinner or breakfast or snack. And then the other way to minimize frustrations if you're trying to make food for yourself is ask for help. If someone is sitting on the dining area and they're just probably on their phone, I will walk to them with my board and knife and be like, can you please chop this for me or the other? So ask for help, because sometimes we want to do it all, but you wouldn't believe how much easier it is to just be able to ask for help and have it. If you don't have it, that is okay, because sometimes we don't. But if it's available to you, just ask for help. Don't not ask for help. I've been asking for help from the kitchen. He'll be like, Mommy, do you need help? And then it's not just for me getting help, but it's also for him learning something new. Like now he will make his own breakfast, he will boil his own egg and things like that, little things. But you have to build it up. So ask for help. Do not be shy about that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, using gadgets are great. Your blenders, your choppers, your juicers, your air fryers, your crock pots, anything electrical, they have a lot of modifications out there. You just need to find it. And like I mentioned earlier, learn something new. Learning something new will help you in the long run. Having being so strict in doing something just one way can be frustrating in the long run. So learn something new, because when you learn something new, then you improve. Then you even make different. Your variety of even your foods will be better, because you're not making the same thing over and over again. Just so you stay disciplined. Learn something new. That way you make other interesting food, snacks, breakfasts, whatever, whichever you choose. And I think we are at the questions point. So if anybody has any questions, I am open to that. Questions. Come on. Somebody has a question. Anybody. Anybody. No questions?
I could
Okay.
ask you one, Tori. So this is
Sure.
Alyssa. A bunch of you have already met me before. I've been at Enhancing Skills for Life for, I actually think almost a year now. But I came on as a student with and met Sean that way. But I guess I have a question with you regarding like, would you be willing to like discuss with me more exercise options, because right now I work for a prosthetic company, so I constantly have especially younger people coming to me and asking me, I want to be able to work out again and I want to do these things, and I could give them things all day long, but I can't necessarily modify it the way that you know how to modify it. And I mean, I would be happy to get on another Zoom call with you to just talk about these things all day long.
I mean, that is a great question because even my prosthetists usually ask me how am able to work out because they've noticed that I maintain a socket for a very long time. And I
Yeah.
told them, it's because I maintain a certain discipline, but they share the same thing as you're sharing is that it's hard for a lot of people to work out, especially as an amputee. If you have known it another way, how else do you do it this way? Getting
Yeah.
your head around it sometimes is difficult. So yes, I'm very willing to do 10 Zoom calls if you want 10 of them,
All
but
right.
to be
I
able
would be
to
happy
help
to
you
do
with
that.
that. Okay. Okay. So
Question for
share your information with me. Are you on social media?
Yes. So I think
Okay.
we're friends on Facebook. We might be, but I can reach out to you there and we can kind of discuss this
Yeah, reach out to
more
you.
too.
Let's exchange contacts and then yeah, I will be very happy and willing to do that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Tori, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is not just a thing that is everyone struggles with weight and keeping fit and feeling motivated, but I think like as those with limb loss, we sometimes experience a lot more. We've experienced different pain stuff, and that can start feeling discouraging, and then the weight starts building on. So, what are some things that you do to keep you mentally strong to break down those I guess those imposter voices that come in, like you can't do this, or you're in pain, you might as well just eat what you want, all those things.
The exercise part, I try to get myself into the groove. I love music. Sometimes when I put on music, I'm like, ooh, I think I want to work out or something. The other thing is find if you have um an accountability buddy or a friend that they don't have to be amputees, they can be just able-bodied people that you can either go do like a walk outside. Walks are usually great. I mean, on days that I really don't feel like doing anything, I will just do a walk. I will take my son to school and come back. Taking him to school and back is like almost 2 miles. And it's a very simple walk. You just walk and come back, but it's something that you're maintaining. If I say 3 days a week I need to work out or 4 days, if the one day I'm walking, that is better than just sitting and feeling sorry for myself because of the situation I'm in. As far as diet, like I said, asking for help is usually great to getting your meal preps going. Making extra meals is usually also great to make sure that you are not substituting your healthy foods for literally junk food. So um those are the kind of simple ways to go about it, because for me sometimes I'm in a lot of pain to where I don't really want to leave the bed. But guess what, my husband does one thing. He tells me every morning, okay, tomorrow we're going to work out at 9. And tomorrow comes and I wake up in the morning and I am so frustrated because now my hands are probably just in burning pain. Nerve pain is horrible. So my legs are numb, my hands are in burning pain, and I'm like, I really don't want to go anywhere. But then he'll be like, let's go. You'll find something to do. If you just want to go and just ride the bike, let's go do it. You'll figure out. And I promise you, by the time I get to the gym, I will change my mind. I will say, maybe run for 10 minutes, then do the bike. Before I know it, I've been there for an hour. I've done 30 minutes each of something. And then I come up with something. So accountability buddies are the best actually for me, because if I don't want to come out, someone else will make me come out. if I don't want that phone call at the end of the day, hey, did you work out today? And I don't want to say no. I want to say, yeah, but I did only 15 minutes, only 10 minutes. There are a lot of workouts that have lesser time, but still do the job. You don't have to die for an hour to work out. Even 5 minutes, I've seen them. 5 minutes a day. The other thing, the shorter the workout, the more days you need to do it, but you're still doing it. So even on the days that are hard, are tough, just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. And if you just want to work out and you don't have anybody else to work out, let me know. We can do a Zoom and we can work out together. How about that? So
Yeah, thank you, Torie. That's awesome. I like the accountability part of thing. I think that really make a difference. And then like, yeah, setting goals.
small goals. They don't have to be big ones, just small, because small goals usually graduate themselves. They can graduate that same day or another day. So yeah.
I have a question, Torie, about pain management. Do you find that exercise can actually help with eliminate some of the pain that I've been experiencing is more from overuse because I'm a congenital. So I've had to essentially, I have some arthritis, even though I just turned 40, but having the pain when it comes to arthritis, or for you, it's probably nerve pain. Do you find exercise and fitness as contributing to helping you overcome that? And do you have any pointers as to how to use it in a way to help alleviate some of that pain?
Arthritis pain, because my mom has it, I know it's terrible. It is very similar, if not identical, to nerve pain. So yes, exercising, getting my endorphins up definitely helps, because usually my pain levels are usually very high. And I've noticed every time I exercise, I'll even forget that I have pain. I will seriously go on for 4 hours. It will give me 4 hours of relief. And for you or me, somebody who has chronic pain, even an hour of relief a day makes a whole lot of difference. So yes, I will put my mark on it. Yes, exercising will most definitely help. And like I just shared, if it's something that you want to get into and see how we can take that, you can always reach out to me. Because when I remember 2020, nobody was going to the gym, nobody was doing anything. People were at home and just not being active at all. So what I did, I just started a small group with just my family to just work out every day together. And then I progressed that to my friends outside us. And because we could not have contact, we did Zoom workouts. So we got into a Zoom, and 30 minutes later, we've done our workouts and maintained our discipline that way. So if that is something that you really want to get into, reach out to me. I can help you. I can help you modify depending on your body type, because different body types have different modifications for different exercises. So we can work through that as well. That way you can do that on your own, or we can keep doing it together, whichever one you choose. So just let me know, reach out, please.
Torie, I have a question actually, and I have a comment. I like what you said about walking and exercise, because in the month of December, I was really good about going to the gym 3 times, to the YMCA 3 times a week. Because before that, I had therapy twice a week. So then I started going to the YMCA and I went 3 times a week. Anyway, so the month of January, I've been slacking because, like we've had family gatherings and stuff like that. I've had doctor's appointments, stuff like that. Anyway, but you're right about the pain, because my arm was tingling, and then I went to the YMCA and it felt much better. But I do the same thing though. I go for walks, like on days when I haven't been able to make it to the gym. I walk outside in the neighborhood, and I go, as far as I can go, and then turn around and come back. The hardest thing I'm having trouble with is the stairs, but I go up and down sideways. But the inside stairs, I go up forwards only because I'm holding like my left arm is holding on to the, we have an acorn chair. So I hold on to the chair with my left arm, and then I'm holding on to the wall with my right arm. And then I'm pushing myself. And what I'm modifying is that instead of taking the, like, instead of normally I would get the chair and bring it down to me. So now, I mean, it's 2 steps, but still, you know, like at least once a day, try to go up all the stairs. But I take the chair and I go to the chair, and then I take the chair the rest of the way out.
I mean, the stairs for me initially were a big challenge. I could not get my head around going up the stairs. I get scared of heights. I'm not a heights person. So when I lost my limbs, that fear or anxiety, you know, worsened, if you will.
Right.
So I was very scared about going up the stairs. But then whatever you're doing is right. At least do something every day, if not every other day, right? And then keep improving on it. If you want to start going up this, because sometimes you go into buildings that don't have railings, that you have to go down the stairs. Some of them even don't have a ramp where you can get downstairs, which, you know,
That's true.
now it's annoying to me. Before it wasn't when I had all my limbs, but now I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. But yes, just do, you can do even just 2 stairs. Go up the 2 stairs, turn around, and go down these 2 stairs. And then build that up. Maybe another day, go up 3 stairs, then 4 stairs, and so on. So for the first year or even year and a half, I could not do anything without holding on to someone or holding on to the side. And then eventually now I just go up and down the stairs. Sometimes slow, sometimes fast, depending on the pain. But yeah, you have to build up that endurance. You can do 1 stair today or the whole week. Next week, try 2. Following week, you know, keep progressing on it.
Right. Well, see, the inside, it's 2 stairs, but outside it's 4. I have to hold on to the railing and I go down sideways and I go down once.
Use that as your workout and make goals for it. And then eventually you will just be doing it. Yeah, just make little goals. Today, say, okay, fine. I'm just going to try to, and if you can't, you can. Just use the sides. Like you say, sometimes when you go on your side is better than going straight on, head on to it. And you can do the sides and alternate to the other way around. Because I know when you go up the stairs, going down can be scary. So going down.
Right. Going up is much easier. Coming down, it's,
So you can do different modifications, and telling everybody here, anybody that needs help, just reach out. I have stairs here. We can do a Zoom and we can do different demonstrations on how to, you know, make it better. That way, eventually you just don't have to worry about it and just take it head on. But, you know, good work on, you know, doing your walks. Walks are usually good, very good. They clear your mind, and then they give you obviously the good workout that you definitely need.
Hi, Torie. I'm new amputee. Well, fairly new. It's going on 1.5 years now. I also went into the hospital with 104 fever, and I woke up 2 months later. And I guess during my journey, I was not awake for this, but I also went into sepsis. I had cardiac arrest 4 times. And I had to be transported to another hospital because the hospital I initially went to didn't have a ECMO team. So very difficult. But all of this is new to me. So I find, like, as a new amputee, I wish that there were more resources for, like, massage therapy. Like, I feel like people are afraid to touch me as an amputee, but a lot of times I'm like, I need that massage, or you know, if there was some kind of therapy besides PT and OT for amputees would be a great resource. But I am getting out there. I find that like encouraging myself, like, you know, some people hear me mumble, I'm strong and courageous, because sometimes I need to hear that. I have to speak to myself in order to make things happen. But right now it's like modifying the house and just getting new ideas. I have a really good support system, so I'm grateful for that. But the mat was a good idea. I saw that you had a mat. We were trying to figure out, what I needed to get because being at the facility, they had this mat that was elevated, and I'm like, I want that mat, And I'm
Yeah.
like, where am I gonna put it?
Mhm.
So I'm working on those things. So thank you, for the things that you've shared. And I just hope to add that to my repertoire of things. So thank you.
And anytime you get stuck, just reach out, let me know,
Mhm.
and we can work something out. I, for whatever reason, I've created so many exercises that just for me, not even to share with anybody else, just for me. That way I can keep up with the discipline of it. So, and a lot of it is mostly modification. So are you a quad amputee then?
Well, they kind of consider me, but for my left hand, so below the elbow, and then on my right hand, I have see that, but 4 digits were amputated. So they kind of considered me that. So when you were doing the push-ups, I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
Yes, you can. You know how you can do them? Is putting both of your hands on the floor. I'll show you, like on elbow.
Oh,
So,
on elbow. Okay.
because your hands have different sizes. So, of course, it's going to be possible for you to go this way. So, just go here.
Okay.
Go to elbow. You can still do a push-up that way. You don't have to be up here. You can go down here and still do it. It will still give you the same result
Okay.
because you're carrying the same weight. So, if you
Okay.
can't go up here, you can go down here.
Okay.
And
I was wondering that because I'm like some of the muscles that you tend to overuse from transfers, from
yes,
the things. I mean, they ache like nobody's business if they're overused. And so I'm constantly doing the rubbing. You're talking about the nerve pain. It gets intense at times.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can do that. And yeah, if you need modifications, depending, like I was talking to Jessica, everybody has a different body type. So if anybody looked at my exercises and they were like, I can't do that. Yes, you probably can. We just have to figure out a different way to do it. So,
Got
yeah.
it. Thank you.
Or sometimes you can do them sometimes you can do them on your bed too. If you don't have a mat, you can the bed's a little bit softer, but it doesn't have, it's not as stiff as a mat, but it's still a workout. So you can still use your bed too. Or like I saw this this app where it shows the modified exercises in like they're called lazy exercises in a chair. And she does, things like this, and then she moves like one, do you know the one I'm talking about? And then she moves either both legs in and out, or one leg and, and then the other leg. So, and I like that too.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. You can be on the mat, you can be up on your wheelchair. Before I started walking, I decided that before I get my prosthetics, at least I want to get my legs stronger. So I did the bands workout a lot. I just sat on my bed or on my wheelchair and just did the ins and outs. You just go this way with your legs and take one out, in, one in, and you can do that for like 15 minutes. Do the same thing for your hands and so on and so forth. So different body types have different modifications. So if you're struggling with those types of things, I'm here for you.
Thank you. I guess I haven't got to where I'm at the permanent sockets. I also have lupus, so it has not been a good journey with my prosthetics. So getting that resolved, I feel like would be the biggest, accomplishment, but we haven't got there yet.
Yeah, prosthetics is all about your legs.
Yeah.
Your legs have to agree. Number one, your legs have to agree with your mind. Number two, the lighter you are on your prosthetics, the easier it is to wear them long term. The heavier you are on the prosthetics, the tougher it is to wear them long term. They get a little bit frustrating.
I'm
And
150 pounds or 156 pounds. I
you're not
mean,
bad, you're not badly off, actually. That's not
But
too
you're
bad.
tall though. Aren't you tall
yeah,
though?
I'm 5'11". Well, I was 5'11".
Yeah, so I mean, you're pretty much right around your weight target. So, and then again, if your limbs are, if you're struggling with friction and things like that, there's a lot of resources out there to help you avoid friction, blisters. I struggle with those a lot. And then eventually I went to a clinic and they told me, don't be wearing, because there's sweat socks that you can wear. But when you're running or doing something athletic, you're not supposed to use your sweat socks because they cause a lot of friction. So there's a gel called a silicone gel, or there's a birthing gel. There's different kinds of things that you can use. Like today, I ran for 3 miles and some change. I didn't have a sweat sock. I just used the antiperspirant on my legs, put the silicone gel on, and I was able to just do the whole 3 miles, no problem. But before I could not. Before I used to do 3 miles, and by the time I'm taking off my prosthetic, I mean, I have a blister or I have somewhere that's really raw. And that's frustrating because now I have to wait for it to heal before I put my prosthetics on. And that means I won't wear that. That means I can go to the gym and so on and so forth. So it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
So you need to take care of your limbs. And I mean, being frustrated long enough, I can help out with that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, can you pinch with your fingers on the hand that you have?
A little. I mean, it's uneven, but
Oh yeah.
the all right, the thumb,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, but the other not so much.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be
Can you
rather
get
painful.
your third finger to your thumb, or can you bend them down?
Yeah, I can.
So that maybe you could hold something like a cucumber. Well, maybe you could hold your cucumber like a vegetable with your residual limb, and then use your finger side to hold like a utensil or something and cut.
Yeah, we've tried that. Occupational therapy has done really
Oh,
that.
good.
But I still have to use like I have a for the left side, I just got my, what is it called? My electric hand. So
Oh, okay.
on that right now to see how useful that will be.
Right. Which one did you get? Do you know what it is?
It is. I'll tell you in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Fairly new.
I know we are over the time, so if anybody
Oh
needs
yeah,
to
I'm
hop
sorry.
off, no, if anybody needs to hop off, they can. But Nikki, yeah, we'll wait for you. Go ahead.
Torie, I want to know how you cut with your residual limbs. That's what
How I do what?
Yeah, I saw that.
how you're cutting with your residual limbs. Like how
Right.
do you hold a knife and cut? I mean, that's really good.
The easiest way to do it is to get the knife as close to your body as possible, right there.
Right. Yeah.
And then I just do the action.
Oh.
But the trick to it is having the long knives, you know, like the bread knives that have the
Right.
long part, because that gives you it will give some giving. Once it's here, then it's long enough to cut on the board. But if it's a short knife, that's kind of tough. Sometimes I can cut with short knives, but it's frustrating.
Right.
Another thing I use an electric knife. Those usually have the longer blade as well.
Oh.
But if I'm traveling and if whoever I'm going to does not have an electric knife, then I go for the long bread knives. And they do a pretty good job. You just have to be patient with it though, in the beginning, and then eventually you get the groove of it.
Right.
And there's some things that I can't cut with that knife either. I cannot do meats. The meats I have to do the electric knife, or I have to have someone
a lot
else.
of the amputees have trouble cutting the meats.
Yeah, meats are tough.
Sorry,
but
ladies,
you know, you can get, if you go to a restaurant, the trick is if you ask your server, if you want something cut, they have to cut it in the kitchen because of how it is in the.
I always
So
do
ask.
that.
Yeah, so if you go out to a restaurant, ask the server to cut it for you.
That usually helps for sure. Nikki, did you get your hand to show Marianne?
Oh yeah, it's sorry, it's a Tasca.
Oh, let's see.
Can you see it?
Oh, nice. Okay, is it the small one?
It's very small, very lightweight. And it operates off the
Right, the
nozzles and
sensors, I know.
Yeah. So I'm getting used to that.
Oh, good. Yeah, I have the B Bionic, but unfortunately it's with my prosthetist office.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they have to
Good.
wait for 3 people to sign up to bring people in, so.
Okay.
Is it
Anybody
heavy
else?
in the, oh, sorry. I was gonna ask her, is it heavy in the hand part?
No, it's the total weight of it is with the arm and everything is like 3 pounds.
Oh, okay, because mine is about, I think, 5 pounds in the hand, like in this part right here in the hand. And then the rest of it is fine, but where the electronics are is the heaviest part, I think.
A lot of, and you said yours is bionic, not well, they're all myoelectric anyways.
Yeah.
The one I have is the Hero arm. That one is, the weight is shifted very well, and it's like 1.5 pounds, very light.
Oh, really?
And it's pretty decent. It does.
But the fingers are very thick though, aren't they?
They're kind of thick, and I feel like if I need to use a spoon, I have to attach, those
Tubes?
silicone thing, yeah, that you put on it, that way it holds. But they're
Right.
trying to modify the hands where they can be a little bit more grabby. Because if you use like a regular stainless steel fork or a metal fork, then it slips out. You have to really work through it or grab it with all fingers instead of grabbing it like natural way.
Right.
So,
because
the thing
this one girl holds it with her finger, like she has the B Bionic, and she holds the fork between her thumb and her, on the, on my electric, she holds it between the thumb and her first finger, and then, because otherwise they show you between the second, I think it's the second and third finger, that way, like coming out of here. And that just looks awkward.
Yeah, it does look awkward. But I mean, the more often you use it, the more you can make your own modifications. That's the great part about prosthetics, is you can make your own modifications to work for you, or you can teach others how to do it. Maybe will work for them as well.
Right. So, I like that silicone tube though. That silicone tube is really super helpful, I think, because then you can take all the fingers and grab, around it.
Yeah, that usually helps.
Okay,
one last question before we go.
Okay, sorry, Torie.
Anybody else with one last question? Andy, you're too quiet. No question.
No, Andy, you're not normally quiet. Come on.
And no. Okay, Mary Beth, take it.
Torie, thank you so much. We really appreciate your generosity with your time and all the information you shared, and especially your generosity with reaching out to people and letting people contact you. So thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
Yes, Torie.
You're welcome, guys. If there's no other questions.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Bye. Good to see everyone.
Good to see everyone.
Bye, Andy. Bye, Torie.
See you guys.
Thank you. Great demos, by the way.
Thank you.